All right, freelance brand scaling has been going viral on TikTok as a new side hustle. I'm here to tell you that it's literally just SMMA repackaged. You know, the thing that Ty Lopez sold a course on in his garage full of knowledge?
Knowledge.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Look, you can make some money doing this if you somehow manage to convince a company to scale their brands for them. This is also with the zero experience and the zero case studies that you have. And then you're gonna try to pitch them on taking 10% of their top line revenue just for running ads for them. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but that is a very tough sell. Even if you manage to land a client, they're gonna realize very quickly that they're paying you way too much money. And once they realize that, you're gonna be fired, especially if all you're doing is running ad campaigns for them. If you are brand new to this and you haven't realized this yet, but all the social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they've all been pushing everyone to go extremely broad with their targeting. There's no secret sauce in ad strategies anymore, essentially making that freelance brand scaling business useless. So hear me out. Instead of running companies' ad accounts for them, making 10% on their top line revenue, only to do this for a few months, get fired, and then chase another client, how about you build that brand yourself, own 100% of it, essentially freelance brand scaling your own company, and then have all of the equity to sell that company in the future once you build it up for millions of dollars. This is what so many people in the ecom space have been doing for years. It's not a new trendy thing, and I'm actually going through an exit right now. And yeah, it is more work, but at least it'll be able to retire you. Your options, if you're interested in the ecom space, are either build companies for other people and get rich, or build something that you own and get really rich. And lucky for you, it's 2025. It's 100 times easier to actually build up a brand right now than it was when I started. If this sounds like a better option and an actual way to build wealth, then here's what you're gonna do. The first step that you're gonna take in building your own brand is defining your niche. If you don't know what niche that you're gonna sell in, you have no idea what product, you don't know how to build the website, you got nothing. And a lot of people ask me, what is the best niche to sell in? I get that question almost every single day. And the answer is there's not really a best niche. All niches sell really well depending on their market size. There's the golf niche, there's the fitness niche, there's beauty tools. There are endless niches out there in the world. People buy a lot of products. What you need to be doing is picking a niche that you're interested in, you enjoy working with, you use that thing yourself, or you're interested in that hobby, or just one in general that you can get personally invested into and enjoy what you're doing. It's gonna make the entire process a lot easier if you're actually interested in the thing that you're trying to build a brand in. So if you really enjoy golf, start a golf brand. If you really enjoy skincare and beauty tools, start that brand. Don't just look for something that's trending and hot right now. Yeah, maybe you can find a lucky winning product, but you're not really gonna know how to market that product because you're not the ideal customer. If you're the ideal customer for the niche that you pick, then you're gonna know exactly how to advertise because you'd know exactly how you personally would want to be advertised to. It's gonna be so much easier. And I'm not gonna sit here and say every single niche sells a ton. There's definitely different market sizes for things, but as long as there's some demand for that niche and it's already established, you've got a pretty good chance of making some sales in that specific area. So I personally can't take that first step for you because you need to figure out what kind of niche you're interested in, what you want to sell in, what your interests are, and then just choose that one. All right, but after you've defined your niche, you need to pick your product because of course, like the niche, if you don't have a product, you can't build your website, you can't build advertisements, you can't really do anything. And sort of like the niche, the product doesn't really matter as much as many people say it does online. Dave Forgarty, if you don't know who that is, he's the guy that built up and scaled Udi. He literally sells blankets. Any of the ecom gurus that you listen to, if you went to them with this product and say, hey, I'm gonna sell a blanket that you put your hands through, they're gonna be like, hey, not really a winning product, or it's too saturated. The Snuggie already did it. But guess what? He did that and he scaled it up to like $600 million in sales and probably more by now. Also think about Gymshark. They literally just took the Nike logo and exchanged that with a cartoon shark. And you can't tell me that if one of your friends came up to you right now and was like, hey, I'm gonna start a athletic clothing brand. I'm thinking they're gonna look just like Nike, but I'm just gonna switch the logo to a shark. You would be like, all right, good luck with that. But guess what? It was successful and actually started off by drop shipping. Or think of Stanley water bottles. They got extremely popular for no reason. They just made a hydro flask or a water bottle slash thermos just a little bit bigger and slapped the Stanley logo on it and got some decent colors. My point is that it doesn't really matter what product you pick as long as there's demand for that product or you can create the demand for that product. All right, so after you've picked your niche and you've picked your your product that you want to start selling, you're going to want to build your store next. And you don't have to go super into depth in building out your store right away. You just kind of want to get a basic platform off the ground because you're going to want to brand it out later on. So you need some sort of a structure that you can fill in the blanks with once you get your custom content and as you build your brand. So the easiest way to get started on a good premium theme completely for free is using this website right here. So it builds a store for you in under 5 minutes in the niche of your choosing on a premium theme. It is the exact same theme that I use. We did $13,000 yesterday mid-scale. We're trying to get to like $25,000, $30,000 a day right now, but it's that exact same theme. So if you want to use this, it'll be down below in the description. It's completely free. Of course, it's not going to be fully customized and branded right off the bat. That's what you're going to be building up to as you scale up your brand. All right, but we're going to put a pause on that because we got to move on to the next step and come back and fill that information in on our website and optimize it later on. But once you got the bare bones pretty much up, we want to find our supplier before we even move forward. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a website. This website is Import Yeti. So what you can do is search for any company that you're trying to replicate or they're in the same niche and you like their product quality and you want to find out who their supplier is. So you can go on Import Yeti. I typed in recess pickleball. So if I want to sell pickleball paddles or handles or clothing, whatever it may be, it tells you about all the shipments that they're importing to the United States. So if you scroll down after searching, you can see here that they are ordering pickleball paddle half grips and tape from this company. They're ordering the Rally backpack from this company. They're ordering some pickleball paddles, probably raw paddles that they print on from this company. So let's say you defined in step one, the niche that you want to sell in is pickleball paddles. And so you don't know where to find your supplier. You don't know who someone else is using. You just plug it into this website and then you look through this and you say, oh, well, I need to get my pickleball paddle half grips here, or just click on this company. All right, so they're located in this area. I know how to say Shenzhen, but not this word. And so this is where they're getting their product from. And then guess what you can do? You can click on view on Alibaba, and then it's going to have their contact information. And you already know they're working with Recess, so they're probably a high quality supplier. You can reach out to them for whatever you want and what they're able to provide. It looks like they have pickleball paddles. They've got balls themselves, probably other things like the grips, obviously, which is what Recess is ordering from them. The next step that you want to do is contact them because you need to ask them a couple different questions. So you need to see if they're able to drop ship your product. If they are not able to drop ship your product, you still can build out this brand, but you will have to put more money up front because you're going to have to actually order inventory of your product, and you can, ship it out of your house like I used to do, or you can move it into a 3PL, which we can talk about later on. But it would be ideal in the beginning if you could drop ship it because you're going to save a lot of money in terms of inventory cost, or at least upfront cost. So you just click on contact supplier and say, hey, I see that you guys sold pickleball paddles to Recess. I'm thinking about starting a brand. I've got some experience in it, X, Y, and Z. You can make that up. What kind of customizations do you guys offer? Are there any MOQs? Do you have templates that I can imprint my designs on and send it over to you, and then you print it and send it back to me? Basically, just ask them the questions that you'd want to know beforehand and actually making sure that they're a quality supplier that can listen to your requests, as well as minimum order quantities, and if they can do drop shipping, customizations, things like that. And the beauty is, if they're not able to do that, then you just go down the list. You plug in a different company that you want to replicate and put your own spin on, and then plug them into Import Yeti, and then reach out to those ones. Once you find the supplier that can fulfill this for you and brand out your product the way that you want it to, you also want to get custom packaging because you want your brand and your product to be a representation of you essentially and build brand loyalty, again, which we'll talk about later on. But you definitely should get custom packaging, and it would be really nice if that same supplier was able to provide that packaging, because then you wouldn't have to, source it from a different supplier, send it to them or a 3PL middleman, package them all together and then send it out to the customer. It would be pretty ideal if that supplier could actually do both packaging and custom products, which really isn't that uncommon. So it won't be too hard to find that, in my opinion. Once you've locked that down, the next thing you want to do is order samples. So you send them your designs with the template that they've submitted for you. You put your designs on it. There might be a little bit of a trial and error process, but when they send you the samples, you want to make sure that it printed nicely, whatever your product may be, and the quality of the product checks out and you like the packaging. Once that's locked in, you've confirmed your samples and it's enough quality for you to ship out at a certain price. The next thing you want to start doing is opening up those social media profiles. So you need an Instagram, TikTok, Facebook account, pretty much all of those things. The thing with opening up social media profiles, I see a lot of people when they're specifically drop shipping, like I can probably find one, is that they look like this. And what's funny is actually I created this account as an example for a video of how to link Instagram accounts to your Shopify store, but they look like this. Very AliExpressy, just a couple of product photos here and there, nothing too crazy, no custom content. You want your brand to look like this over time, and it's not going to start off this way, right? The content's great, it's custom content, everything looks color graded the exact same way. It looks like a legit brand, but this is going to take time. You're naturally going to get followers through paid advertisements, but you are going to have to start going out and shooting with photographers and things like that, or getting UGC content to post on your page to make it look like this type of branding. But you don't have to worry about that in the beginning. You just got to get some stuff up and take the pictures yourself. And then as you scale and prove that the product is wanted and you're starting to build up your business, then go reinvest in photographers. But at the bare minimum, you want to get your social media profiles up and obviously try the best to make them look pretty decent. And it's not that hard. You really just need an iPhone. You can take some pretty solid photos and color grade them the exact same way, and it'll just like flow nicely. And like I'm saying about building this up, and it will take time, we're building a brand here that we want to be able to exit. We maybe can start from drop shipping and build up this brand, scale it up, get your own custom warehouse or 3PL, build up your brand, get photographers, massively scaling or freelance brand scaling your own company. And then that way, once it has brand equity, you can sell that company for multi-millions of dollars. Now that everything is lined up, we need to start testing ads. And I recommend testing static ads first, so not video ads. I know everyone talks about video ads. Like, I don't know anyone that talks about image ads really, but image ads are 3 times on average cheaper than video ads. It's way easier to create them. It's way easier to scale them. And they honestly convert really well in a world full of video. I just had to run over here because just to prove my point, but this 100,000 order plaque from Shopify, I got all of this using image ads. There was maybe like 0.5% of video. But the point is that image ads are so powerful and so underrated. And the brand that I was showing you guys earlier with $13,000 in sales that we're scaling up right now is all image ads as well. People don't really talk about it a lot, and I don't know why, but I'm kind of just, throwing out that secret sauce and maybe shooting myself in the foot a little bit here. But more of the story is that image ads are extremely powerful and they're really easy to do. You just need a photo of your product and pretty much that's it. The process that I do for creating image ads and cranking out like so many an hour is going on Creative OS, and then they basically scrape all of the top ecom brands and then put the templates of those brands on their website for you to use. So there's probably a bunch of brands on here that you've already seen, like Jackson, Anchor, all these, mega ecom brands. So what Creative OS does is scale the ones that have been performing the best for these brands and then move them into templates. So now I can take this one from Jackson and then click on export to Canva. Then I can click on use template for new design. And then now I have an editable template of the exact ad that they were running that I can just replace with my own image and copy. So that photo that you took on your iPhone of your product, you can literally remove the background and plug it in right here and then change the copy to the same that Jackson has, but obviously with your own spin on it. Where I'd recommend testing your ads or your static ads specifically would be on Facebook because they just perform better. TikTok is not super ad heavy as a platform. And I don't have anything wrong with running videos. Videos can also be very converting, but I just think as a beginner that's trying to build something and run paid ads and spend your own money on paid advertising, I think static ads are a better chance for you. But again, you can go into video if you want to. I just think it's going to be a little bit harder in the beginning. And I'm not going to go into the full ad strategy because like I was saying in the beginning of this video, ad strategy is not that crazy anymore. You kind of just like plug and play. There's not really any like crazy targeting or secret sauce to your ad strategy. But if you do want to learn in depth, all of that is on my channel already. I'll walk you through everything step by step, how to set up your Facebook ad accounts and just set up your campaigns and scale them. So once that's done though, and you start running some ads and hopefully you start getting some traffic or find a nice marketing angle in an advertisement that's working, your sales are going to start to come in. So after your sales come in, we need to start fulfilling those orders. Now, if the supplier that you're working with can drop ship, then you can drop ship directly from them. But if your product is super custom and you had to have like an MOQ, so a minimum order quantity, I would recommend fulfilling with a 3PL like Zendrop. Zendrop's a really reputable company in the dropshipping space, mainly for providing single item orders directly to the customer, and it integrates perfectly with Shopify, so they can do all of that fulfillment for you and automatically fulfill all your orders from their warehouse if they have the product in stock. But what you can also use Zendrop for is a 3PL. So they accept 3PL shipments into their warehouses both in Miami as well as China, which is exactly what we are doing with this brand that I just showed you a little bit earlier. We're sending 15,000 units over to the Miami warehouse to get that 1 to 2 to 3 day shipping time. If you're just trying to start an ecom brand or branded drop shipping store, Zendrop's going to be able to cover all of the fulfillment for you. Or if you're going the more custom route and you need a 3PL, they're also able to cover that as well. And their prices are extremely competitive. It's actually the best quote that I've ever received from a 3PL. So moral of the story in terms of fulfillment, it's either going to go through that supplier that you're getting your custom product from, or I'd recommend using a company like Zendrop to do either drop shipping basis or a 3PL basis. I don't like handling fulfillment at all, so I pretty much just have them do that for me. After you lock down your fulfillment and technically your supply chain, and maybe you're starting to make some sales, you really want to focus on building brand loyalty loyalty. Brand loyalty is almost exactly equal to the amount that you can exit this company for. Nobody cares if you're making sales. Nobody cares if you're doing $10 million a year, but you have no brand loyalty. Customers are not coming back to your store and purchasing more from you. The LTV or lifetime value of your customer is really low. And all you're focusing on is getting that one sale and then moving on to the next person. There are a lot of companies that don't want to buy companies like that. You want to build a company that people know the name of, they shop there more than once, and they feel like you're a part of that community. And this obviously takes a lot of time, but some really easy things to think about or keep in the back of your mind as you're building up your brand is that time and effort and care in terms of customer service goes a really long ways nowadays, especially with dropshipping companies or small businesses online. They really get a bad rep and people don't really care about their customers. And if you can provide a great customer service experience for them, they're more likely going to come back and purchase again from you. You also want to put effort into the Instagram account, which is obviously going to take time as you're building up your brand. You should reinvest in, like I was saying earlier, photo shoots, maybe hire a social media manager just to tighten things up and clean it up a bit. Also, if you have the opportunity, I would recommend building a community. So if you're starting that pickleball company, like I was talking about earlier, you can start a pickleball group chat on Facebook, WhatsApp, and you can send out pickleball community newsletters about meetups and all these things. And even later on down the road, you can start tournaments and things like that. It doesn't really matter how many people show up. It's just good content to get and show that you're building and invested in that community. People like supporting companies that support the thing that they're buying that product for. Basically, just be involved in the community in the niche that you're selling in. You also want to start focusing on building a brand voice as the owner of the company. If you're comfortable with it, you should be posting that you are the owner, showing the back end of everything, showing the experience, showing how much you care about the products, maybe hand packing a couple of orders, sending out emails, thanking them personally, send them a picture of you and your dog or whatever it may be. Because again, people like supporting small businesses and they like supporting people that are interested in the thing that they're buying. Now they're putting a face to that blank company name that they just found on Instagram. There are more steps beyond that. There's optimizing, A/B testing as you're scaling, continue to scale ads, optimize your supply chain, bring on employees, increase margins, and then sell your brand. But I imagine if you're watching this video, you're probably a beginner and I already gave you enough steps to tackle before you even get to those next steps, which is why I can make a part 2 of this video if you guys want me to. If you've made it this far in the video, you're probably interested in it and you'd probably be interested in the second channel that I just started. In this second channel, it's not going to be as tutorial and teachy. It's going to be me essentially doing like a business vlog type of style, showing what I actually do on the day-to-day basis. I've been building this channel based on dropshipping, but I do so much more than that. I started dropshipping like 6 years ago. I've invested and built so many other businesses that I don't really talk about. So I thought it'd be cool to go more of the day in the life business vloggy type of route to get really a behind the scenes look at all the things that I'm actually doing. If you're interested in that type of content, I'll post a link down below in the description. I'll be posting the first video soon. And honestly, by the time you watch this video, it might be out already. And if you guys want additional help, I created a very affordable mentorship program. So it's a monthly basis. It's not a one-time fee of like $10,000 to learn how to do freelance brand scaling. It's extremely low, but it will increase in price as more people join onto it. If you want to get extra help, we do daily live coaching calls, private course videos in there, premium assets, community channels, like-minded individuals, all that type of stuff. And it's pretty straightforward, but we do love helping out as many people as we possibly can. If you're interested in that, it's brand new. It's called Conversion Club. I'll have that down below in the description as well. All right, guys, I hope you like this video and I hope that you understand that, freelance brand scaling can make you a good amount of money. But the thing is, what a lot of people need to realize is you're building someone else's business. If you already have those skills to build someone else's business, you can just do it yourself fairly easily. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer because it's not established and you're not just, coming in and plugging and playing. But in the end, it's way more worth it to actually build something that you own because you're going to be able to exit that company for a lot more and fully secure your retirement. All right, guys, that's it for me. I hope you guys liked this video. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below if you have any questions, and check out my second channel as well if you are interested in that business vloggy travel kind of thing. I hope this was educational, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Peace.